Hi again. In the last session, we looked at how Jesus communicated to his disciples and therefore to us today that it was good that he went to heaven so that the Holy Spirit could come. Jesus was limited physically, not because he was any less God, but I heard someone describe once that if it's like an Olympic runner, let's say Usain Bolt, one of the fastest men ever to run on earth, but suddenly he was invited to run a three-legged race with me, he would still have all the same power, all the same capability, but he would be limited because he's attached to me, who is a lot slower. And the analogy painted that Jesus was fully God when he walked on the earth, but he was limited by taking on human form. And so we read that he was in one place at a time. He would travel to places, whereas the Holy Spirit is not limited by geography. He is everywhere. He is with you right now as you listen to this, but he's with me right now as I share this. And he is with millions of believers across the world. And we all together are the temples of the Holy Spirit. He lives and resides in us. So it's good that the Holy Spirit comes, but who is this Holy Spirit? Well, the Holy Spirit is God. We understand from the scriptures that there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We call that the triune God. Sometimes the language that's used is the word Trinity. The word Trinity itself is not mentioned in the Bible, but the concept of God being three in one is a powerful concept that we understand right from the beginning of time. The Father, the Son, and the Spirit were in perfect loving unity. And though we were not created because God was lonely and he needed some company, we were created because there was so much love in the Godhead that God created people so that love could be an expression. And so you and I are the products of much love, unrivaled love. The Holy Spirit is God, but when we read about Jesus, we picture something of an impression of how we understand this man who walked the earth and touched blind eyes and healed them, and touched the lame and they began to dance, who told people their sins were forgiven. We get a picture of a person. But when we think of the Holy Spirit, sometimes the imagery that the Bible paints is less simplistic for us to understand that the Holy Spirit is a person. For example, there's imagery used such as wind and fire, and that there's a sense of breath. Now, those things may lead us to conclude that the Holy Spirit is like some sort of mist or some sort of obscure being that just floats around the earth like a spirit. But the reality is that the Holy Spirit is a real person. In the same way as the Father, the Son, the Spirit is a real person. And we told some attributes about the Holy Spirit in the scriptures. We understand that the Holy Spirit is everywhere. Now, that's a wonderful truth to know, that he is, a technical word used for that is omnipresent. Psalm 139, the psalmist said, "Where can I flee from your presence? There's nowhere that I can escape you. You are in the depths, you're on the mountaintops. Where can I flee from your presence?" As well as being everywhere or omnipresent, he is all-knowing or omniscient. There is nothing he is unaware of. There is no knowledge that slipped his attention. There's nothing in the past, the present, or the future that surprises him. He knows everything. And also, he is all-powerful, omnipotent. We read in Luke's Gospel, it says that what's impossible with man is possible with God. So, the Holy Spirit is a real person, and he's with you right now, everywhere. He knows everything, and he's all-powerful. Surely, knowing that we are filled with him should be one of the most exciting adventures of our lives.